Hey everybody. For this video, I wanted to continue the conversation I was having with you in my last video in regards to alcoholism and gender inequality. For this video, I wanted to give you a bit of perspective on what it's like for an alcoholic to be living in a drinking culture. Now, a drinking culture is the set of traditions and social behaviors that surround the consumption of beverages containing ethanol as a recreational drug and social lubricant. Canada's culture is dominated by the consumption of alcohol. According to the World Health Organization, Canadians drink more alcohol per capita than the worldwide average, approximately 3.6 times more than the world average. Approximately 80% of Canadians drink regularly. So according to the WHO, Canada in general has a drinking problem based on how much and how often we drink. Now, how can an individual alcoholic thrive or even survive in such a society? Well, the first thing is awareness, and it's really crucial since if you think about it, if we have a higher rate of people drinking, then consequently I would think we also have a higher rate of people suffering from alcoholism. Just because everyone does drink doesn't mean everyone can drink. And now, as I've said before, alcoholics all find themselves trying to force themselves to be normal drinkers instead of addressing their illness. A big part of this is due to a lack of awareness about alcoholism and alcohol abuse, but also because of the massive social pressures to fit in and be normal. Because in Canada, drinking is normal. Think of all our social rituals. Look at all the holidays. There's New Year's. Don't forget about Christmas. Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, Easter, May long weekend, Canada Day, August long weekend, Thanksgiving, weddings, birthdays, weekends, sometimes weekdays, good days, bad days, to celebrate, to have fun, but also to grieve and to cope. It's just so normal, it's almost expected that everyone drink. I've never declined a drink or declined an opportunity to drink without hassle. Like, come on, just one drink. Oh, you're not drinking? What's the problem? Come on, have a drink. I'm literally forced to either, admit socially and to myself that I have a problem or just to drink. And the stigma about alcoholics is so bad that it's really just easier to drink, even though I can't. And drinking is just so common that people, I don't think, take it as seriously as it needs to be. It's just something we do. It's no big deal. Just one of the other things that we just do all the time. Some people, they have problems with alcohol, but it's going to be obvious, right? There are so many views about alcoholics shared by the non-alcoholic community that essentially victimize and endanger the members of the alcoholic community. One, of course, is the false and extreme image of the alcoholic. Like a really, homeless, can't hold a job, drinking mouthwash. But for me personally, the most damning is a phrase that to the non-alcoholic seems harmless and normal. And that, of course, is, let's go get some drinks, let's go get drunk, get laid. That statement, being a normal thing, gives the impression when someone like me is in trouble and needs help, that what's really going on is that I'm just trying to get drunk and get laid. I never once went out I want to get drunk and get laid. I go out, I want to get a little buzz, and have some fun. That never seems to happen for me. I just wanted to not get drunk and black out and have a sexual encounter. I just wanted to be like everyone else. But I've learned that I can't. I am not like everyone else when it comes to drinking. I black out, I become belligerent, and then a man who is there to get drunk and get laid seizes his opportunity. My point here is the majority, the non-alcoholic, does not understand the workings of the minority, the alcoholic. Alcoholics are often not obviously alcoholics. Even intoxicated non-alcoholics sometimes don't seem as outwardly intoxicated as they really are. People can't read minds. They can't look back in time and see an individual's struggles or lack thereof with alcohol. The only way to guarantee that an individual is able to consent to a sexual encounter is to only engage if they and yourself are dead sober. Drunk equals no. If you want to get laid, don't get drunk. Don't go looking for drunk girls. I know it's much easier, but it doesn't make it okay. Our society needs to put an end to this predatory thinking. Like, go to the bar, go to the party, like, wait for the women to sedate themselves. And then, like, that's rape. And I've been described as forceful, determined, aggressive, like impossible to stop. Now turn that around. Imagine I was a man and I went to a bar or a party. I got incredibly intoxicated and became forceful, determined, aggressive, impossible to stop sexually. I would get the shit kicked out of me. I would get thrown out. I might even get charged. Like, at the very least, the girl is going to be like, no, like, you're too drunk, go away. But if a girl does it to a guy, oh yeah, come on. If I was a guy, there would have been some intervention. Somebody would have said, dude, you can't do that. Like, I know it's just the drinking, but you got to get that sorted, because you can't be doing this to women. But me as a woman, I go and do it to a guy, and the guy's like, right on. One way for guy, one way for girl? It's supposed to be the same, right? Anyways. Sorry. This culture of getting drunk and getting laid it's a culture of cowardice. It's a culture of lazy rape. But it's a lot easier to get laid, right? If the girl's drunk. If she's drunk, though, you're not getting laid. You're raping her. You're assaulting her. In a vulnerable state. Just because it's easier doesn't make it okay. Just because she's not screaming doesn't make it okay. So being an alcoholic in a drinking culture means you have to choose between being social or being safe. Like what we've been doing this year. You go out and be social, or you stay home and be safe. And everybody's been complaining. Not everybody. A lot of people have been having a hard time, and I understand. With the social distancing, the staying at home, It gets lonely, I get it. But I have been social distancing for the better part of a decade. And when we get this COVID vaccine and everybody can go back to their normal social life, I'm still going to be an alcoholic living in a drinking culture. I'm still going to have to stay home to stay safe. Because if oftentimes going out involves drinking, I'm not going to be safe. So I'm going to stay home. Anyways, just to put that into perspective for you. Everybody knows what it's like to social distance, but doesn't mean it's a new thing for everybody, right? Anyways, I guess that about wraps it up for me for now. I guess before I go, I just want to say I want everyone to remember that my problem is a problem with alcohol, but it's also a problem with gender inequality. Sometimes when you mix two, illnesses like that. I have my own illness, the alcohol, and then there's the social illness, the gender inequality. It leads to a much worse thing. And in my case, it was just a relentless amount of sexual assault and rape. And next video, I'm going to move on from the alcohol, but what I really want everyone to take away from this part of my video or videos here is drunk equals no. Every time. Drunk people cannot give consent. You don't know what's going on with that person. Just whatever it is, wherever you are, just if they're drunk, the answer is no. Drunk equals no.